What's up, everybody? It is Q4 of 2020. I am Gil Alberto, and we are here on the verge of absolute economic catastrophe. And you may be wondering, can it really get any worse? I mean, my portfolio has taken a swift kick to the balls this year, and it's cost me so much more money to do the same things I was doing last year. I've been getting bled dry at the pumps in the supermarket, and going out has been ridiculously expensive. And my answer to you is yes, it can get a lot worse, and it looks like it will get a lot worse. So in this video, I want to talk to you about why Bitcoin is a solution that you should strongly not only consider, but actually get into right away. Why it's going to help you and your family cross the chasm that we are entering. So I'm going to first start with what the current financial system is set up as and why it is designed to go through these boom-bust cycles, why it has a 100% failure rate, and why you should be alarmed. So we live in a system that operates with fiat money, and fiat is money by decree. The government basically says this piece of paper has value. These digits on your screen have value, and everyone just accepts that as being the way it is. But right now, our money is not tied to anything tangible. In the past, it was tied to gold. We operated at one point on a gold standard. And historically, every single society, every empire that has gone the route of fiat, of just printing the money, of diluting their supplies, have failed. So let's just take a look at 2020, for example, right? They shut the economy down because if it just saves one life, it'll be worth it to shut the economy down. And the markets crashed, and what they did to avoid that, to make it palatable, to make it okay for everyone, is they turned on the money printer. They created 1 point something trillion, maybe even more. They expanded the money supply by, I want to say 40%, and they were handing out money through the PPP loans and those stimmy checks, and the prices of assets ended up going up dramatically. Last year, right, everything was mooning and people were happy, but there is always a price to pay. There's no free lunches in the real world. So what actually happens when they print more money is this group of unelected bureaucrats has made you poor in the long run. And especially if you actually already are poor, like if you're in the lower class or the lower middle class and you're kind of living paycheck to paycheck, or you're saving but you don't have a ton of money in the bank, they've diluted you. So what happens ultimately is that the price of things go up, the price to buy the car goes up, the price to pay for gas goes up, and you've now become poor. Most people think that because the prices of houses over the last 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years have gone up, everyone's been getting richer. But what's actually been happening is that everyone's been getting poor. Everyone who's held dollars has been a loser. And so you're forced to speculate in the markets. You're forced to go and buy stocks in order to beat this depreciation of your currency, in order to stay ahead or even just stay even. And they say that the inflation right now at the 40-year high is at this 8% number, but that's really bullshit, because the inflation is what it costs you to live, right? If it costs you double to fill up your tank of gas, that's the real inflation, 100%, not 8%. If it costs you 50% more to buy a steak, or now you can't afford a steak and you got to buy fucking chicken, well, that's the real cost of inflation, the real price of inflation, the rate of inflation. And so what are we going to do about this? Well, the answer is Bitcoin, because Bitcoin exists outside of the control of these unelected bureaucrats. They cannot change the supply like they can with their fiat currencies. So you don't have to trust people who don't have your best interests at heart. It is designed to operate by, let's say, game theory. No one is going to change it because it's in everyone's best interest. Everyone's interest is to be selfish for themselves, and changing it fucks it up for themselves. It would fuck it up for me. It would fuck it up for the next guy. So the supply is 21 million, which means if you own one coin, you know what percent of the total supply you own. And in 5 years, in 10 years, you know that percent will not change, which means that you can have certainty that if you start saving your money, a lot of people think about it as investing because they're focused on getting more dollars. But what you need to be focused on is getting more Bitcoin. So the price has gone down in terms of dollars over the last months, but what that means is you can get more Bitcoin today. That's great, because that window is closing. After they print again, they most likely they'll probably kick the can down the road another 1 or 2 times. They're running out of runway here. the price of Bitcoin is going to go back up. But what's most important is that the supply will remain unchanged. So you have something that has a known supply and a fixed supply. You have something that you can take possession of. You know, in 1931, the government stole everyone's money by the stroke of a pen. Look up FDR, executive order, and gold. I forgot the number of the executive order, but he overnight took everyone's gold to, to stop the hemorrhaging from the depression, and you were fucked. That cannot happen with Bitcoin. You know, if Biden today said everyone's Bitcoin is now ours, I would say, suck my dick, I'm never going to fucking give it to you. I would rather die than give my Bitcoin to the government. And they cannot actually come in by force and take it from me. They could kill me, but my Bitcoin can go to the grave with me. So this is the first time actually in human history that you can take possession of your property. Think about your house, right? We have property rights, but you don't actually own the house because you got to pay taxes on the house. And if you can't afford the taxes in 50 years, they're going to keep going up, right? Then the government's going to come along and they're going to send men with guns and they're going to foreclose on your house, and now you're fucking homeless. That cannot happen with Bitcoin. So you have something that you can take possession of. You have something that has finite scarcity. I can pay you, my viewers, anywhere in the world, right? I can send you the Bitcoin and you can receive it, and we don't have to rely on JP Morgan saying, I approve this transaction. Fuck you, JP Morgan. I approve this transaction. You can approve this transaction. And nowadays, you know, you don't even have to buy Bitcoin anymore. I certainly encourage you to buy it, but you can also earn it. The economy has become circular. It has become robust enough that you can go out there and you can trade goods or services for it. You know, out here in Texas, there are cattle ranchers that will sell you primo meat for Bitcoin. They want your Bitcoin. And so we can now have a direct peer-to-peer exchange. I can buy something that I need for myself and my family. We need meat. They want Bitcoin. That's a fair trade, right? You can go and, you know, if you design web pages, you can go design some web pages, some landing pages, some graphic design work. You can go and sell your services directly for Bitcoin. So you can start earning in Bitcoin. And there's actually apps where you can play a video game for Bitcoin. There is an app that is called Vita. And if you're a creator, you know, if you're an influencer, an artist, or you're a coach even, and you value your time, you can paywall your time with Bitcoin. So we have this link in bio functionality on this app called Vita, and you're a creator, you send people to your digital destinations, you put this link in your bio, and now you give someone a new communication channel to reach you, because your DMs are filled with a lot of riffraff. So people go and they'll pay you $1 or $5, and now you know they're serious, and now you know they're not a scammer, because scammers can't afford to send these messages out at scale. They would go broke. And so now you can communicate with your biggest fans, and you're earning in Bitcoin. So the big takeaway is get off zero, get on some Bitcoin. The government hates you. The bureaucrats are not your friends. They are pretty stupid. They're going to fuck things up. Things are probably going to get a lot worse. And the answer for you is to get some Bitcoin, whether you start buying it or earning it. It is your responsibility to take care of yourself and to take care of your family. There's no fucking free lunches out there. Nobody's coming to save you. Buy some Bitcoin, earn some Bitcoin today. And fuck all those shit coins. No Ethereum, no Cardano, no XRP, none of that shit. All of those are scams to steal your Bitcoin. What you want to do is focus on Bitcoin. Don't be a degen. Get some Bitcoin, stash that shit. Thank me later. I'll see you next time.